informational article. Basically, it's an article from a newspaper from a few years ago. And spoiler alert, we're going to be reading Romeo and Juliet, and there is death involved regarding the two of them. But I'm not going to give you all the details, so don't think you know what's going to happen just by me saying that or by reading this article. But this really is going to wrap your mind around thinking about what the play is about and kind of get us ready for the type of action that's going to be happening. So this is called Romeo and Juliet article : tone. And so we're focusing on a couple things here. We're going to work on finding the main idea and summarizing the article. And we're also going to look for the tone that is set by the author. So when the author is writing the article, they set the tone by including or excluding descriptive words, adjectives. And that's one of the things we're going to look for as well. Now, if you're not familiar with tone or you just need a reminder, you can watch this video. And I strongly suggest you watch it. You may not need to watch the whole thing to understand the whole concept, but I would click on it and watch it for just at least a minute or two. After you feel like you understand what tone is, then you're going to work on reading the article. And as you read it, and you're probably going to want to read it more than once, I would say like read it through the first time, and then the second time as you read it, you're going to highlight adjectives that you think determine the tone of the article. All right, so as you're reading it, I'll just model the first few sentences for you. I'm going to look for adjectives that might be creating some type of overall tone or feeling. They were two young sweethearts whose only crime was to fall in love. But the secret romance between the teenagers ended in their barbaric deaths, killed by their own families. So I noticed right away the word secret. I'm just going to go up here and highlight that. And then barbaric is another descriptive word. Okay, so I've got two words to look at here. Secret isn't necessarily a bad word. Barbaric sets definitely a kind of a dark tone, though. Last week they were hanged, one after the other, after they refused to give up their relationship. This is just the facts. There aren't any descriptive words here. It is hard to believe in the 21st century that such a terrible thing could happen. So now they describe it as being a terrible thing. Now this is opinionated because some people might say that's not terrible. When you're writing an article for the newspaper, your job typically is to give the facts, the who, what, where, when, why, and how. By including descriptive words like they're really adding to the interest either in a positive or a negative way. So you might have to read this once or twice before you recognize the tone. Okay, but you should be highlighting these words as you go through, probably the second time of your reading. All right. Once you do that, you've got just one question to answer, and then you've got a summary to write. So when you write a summary, your summary should be much shorter than the original article. It's not going to include a bunch of fluff. You're just giving the facts. So it's going to be very brief, and you're just going to tell me who is this about, what happened, why, where did it happen, when did it happen, and how. Okay? So after you read it, you should be able to do that. I'm not going to give you a specific length, but you could do this in a few sentences. After that, and you've highlighted, you're going to kind of look through your words and go, oh, I'm starting to see how the tone has been set by using these adjectives. So you'll answer this question. What tone has the author created when writing this article? Notice that you should use text evidence in your answer. So I would suggest starting out by restating the question. The author sets the tone of the article as being whatever word you use. And then this is evident in the following sentences, or the following words show that this is the tone that was set by the writer. So this should be a couple sentences long. Restate the question and make sure you include evidence from the text. And that's all I have for today.